Hello, friends, and welcome back to Elaborations with SchellingtonGrin. I'm Ava, your gothic witch big sis, and since it is officially October, that means that Halloween has arrived. So I am saying happy Halloween the 1st. And look, I know that some of you already know that several retail stores, including Spirit Halloween, have been open and selling Halloween products since the middle of August. But I like to wait until at least October the 1st because I'm a little respectful like that, even though I've been decorating a little bit here and there since the middle of September. But I also broke out my favorite deck, my Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck, today. And if you are following me on Instagram, you are going to be seeing me use that for any collective readings from now until probably the end of December. I'll be integrating some other decks as well, including maybe my Alice in Wonderland tarot deck because I love that too. But it is spooky season, so we are bringing out the spooky vibes. And that means we're bringing out the spooky decks. But spooky vibes aside, today we are talking about something that might be a little less spooky, but can still make people really evaluate things in their life. And that is autonomy in love. How to be in love without losing yourself in the process. Because at the end of the day, true love is about being whole on your own and then choosing to walk beside someone else who is also whole. A relationship, a real relationship, isn't going to be like The Notebook. And no shade to anyone who loves The Notebook, but Noah and Allie's relationship has been dissected over and over and over again, and it's not a healthy one. No shade to people who like Twilight either. I love watching Twilight sometimes because I do like some of the cinematography and I do like some of the color schemes and the way that it changes when Bella becomes a vampire versus when she's human. And I do like some of the different things that have been used in the films, and especially knowing that they shot these films in parts of Washington and Oregon, and even one of the films was shot down here in Louisiana at the Celtic Center. And I remember my dad working at Bass Pro at the time, and he met Jackson Rathbone, which was really cool. But true love is not like the dynamic between Bella and Edward, or the dynamic between Jacob and Bella, or the dynamic between, gross, Jacob and Renesmee. And I'll just leave it at that. But today we are diving into why it matters, what the science says, how it plays out in my own relationship, and why social media is not the high priestess of your love life. Because we are also not trying to become one merged, two-headed, awkward horror monster to prove that we are in love either. Okay? So, grab your favorite comfy items, whether that is your favorite pillow or your favorite blanket. Grab your favorite fall drinks and snacks, and let's dive right in. So, on Monday, we did a little Tarot 101 crash course episode, and in the episode, I mentioned that I have been a professional tarot reader for 5 years. Over my time as a professional tarot reader, especially when people were coming to me for relationship readings, I have seen people who are terrified that if they don't share every hobby, every moment, and every thought with their partner, that the relationship is doomed. I've also had people coming to me talking about what they're doing to manifest a specific person and the ways in which they are altering themselves to, quote, align, end quote, with that person, even if it means that they are changing who they are fundamentally. And let me say this. I may be young. I may be what I like to call baby 30 because I'm literally just going to be 31 in a month. But to me, this doesn't sound like love. It sounds like a hostage situation. And that's where my example of me and my boyfriend is going to come in. We don't have a hostage situation. We don't have this relationship where we are fused at the hip all the time, 24/7. Because something that I've recognized about him is that he has different things that correlate into his nervous system reset button. And one of his biggest things that helps him to reset his nervous system is going to the gym several days a week. And it's not about being a gym bro, flexing in the mirror. It's actually his way of medicine, in a way. It's his way of managing chronic pain, regulating his body, and truly feeling strong within himself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And for me, my body is going to crave walks, yoga, Pilates, and movement that can shift with my menstrual cycle and honors where I'm at different times of the month. Do I sometimes want to go back to the gym? Absolutely. And I've gone to the gym with him over the summer. But I'm not about to always merge my gym time with his just to prove that we are bonding, because that is his ritual and mine is mine, and that is completely healthy. Even if we were to go to the gym right now, I have learned that it's better to go to the gym as a couple and still do your own things. If it's something I needed help with, I would ask him to coach me through it. But if it's something that I knew I could do on my own, I would let him go do his own thing. I would do my own thing. And then maybe at the end of the session, we would meet up at a specific point and say, okay, you want to hit the treadmills together to get some cardio in before we leave? That's perfectly healthy. And here's the kicker. Science is going to back me up on this. A 2017 study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that couples who maintained their individuality, meaning that they had their own hobbies, friends, and space, reported higher satisfaction and less resentment than couples who fused into one horror movie blob. Because autonomy doesn't create distance. Autonomy is oxygen. And you need oxygen in order to breathe, right? So think of that autonomy in your relationship as the oxygen that allows you to breathe so that you can actually be your best self in the relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. Shared joy is absolutely beautiful and necessary to also have a healthy relationship. It's all about balance. For example, me and my man have our shared shows that we like to watch together, and we swap memes and we send each other goofy Snapchat selfies to check in. And one of the shows that he's trying to get me into finally is Demon Slayer. He's also trying to get me into Seven Deadly Sins. He's gotten me into this older anime from the late 90s called Trigun, which is his favorite. And we're also talking about different shows that we really want to be able to watch, like Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss, and so many things that we really do like together. And he's also getting me into another anime called Dandadan, and I really love it. It's super cool. But we also have our own things, our own separate things that create joy. Even though we might be sharing those things with each other, such as him watching my favorite movies like Practical Magic with me, or him showing me his favorite anime series, I'm also a girl who likes to sit down and play The Sims for hours. Building houses, renovating houses, creating cute little worlds for like my Sims. And especially when you have several different expansion packs, you can do a lot more. And my favorite expansion packs are Life and Death, Realm of Magic, and one other one. Surprisingly, not vampires. I liked vampires, but it's not really my favorite. I liked werewolves, but it's not really my favorite either. I like cottage living because it also gives you these different things that you can do for gardening and farming and different things like that. And it's super cute and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And it also gives you these cute little outfits that you can wear. I also really like the new one, Enchanted by Nature, because not only does it have fairies, but you can build like a little cottage in the woods and you can have your own little witchy cottage because you've got the stuff from Realm of Magic, which is totally witchy vibes and spell casting, and you can have a phoenix as a familiar or you can have a crow as a familiar, and it's really cool. And then you've got the life and death stuff, which also includes tarot cards. And you know me, I'm a tarot girly. And then you've got the cottage living stuff, and you've got flowier outfits, and you've got more gardening. And it's like, oh my God, I can build all of this in The Sims? No way. So I really like being able to do that. For him, he loves survival games, and he's also really big into zombie survival games. Now, one of my things is that I've never really been super heavily into zombie stuff, but I can get behind some of it. And I love seeing him light up over what he's really passionate and interested in. And it's so cute because it's so adorable. He will lay on his yoga mat in the living room and watch a gameplay of his favorite survival games and his favorite strategy games. And I'll sit on the couch while I'm reading a book or playing The Sims or something. And I'll look up and ask him, so what's going on? Just to kind of connect with him and, kind of get a feel for what his interests are and show that I am invested without trying to merge that into my own personality. And then he lights up like a kid on Christmas when he's telling me about it. And it's just so precious. I love it. So shout out, baby. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. But I find it so adorable watching him get passionate about all of that while I'm over here building this cute little witchy cottage in the middle of the woods. Okay. And you know what? It's super sexy, really. It's super sexy. And it's also super romantic and super beautiful because joy is going to look different for everyone. And being able to have that separate joy and that shared joy is what is going to help you balance your relationship. Psychologists even have a name for this called the self-expansion theory. Basically, when you are trying new things or engaging in your passions, you grow as a person. And when you're in a relationship, you're able to bring that growth back into it. So your solo hobby time is not taking away from the relationship. In fact, it is giving you stuff that can help you fertilize it like a compost for love, which is always really cool. Now, I want to talk about something else that is also deeply personal to me in my relationship: neurodiversity in a relationship. Both my boyfriend and I are neurodiverse adults, which means alone time sometimes is not optional. It is, in fact, medicine. It is nervous system regulation. It is being able to communicate with each other and say, I love you, but if I don't get a day or I don't get this time to myself, even if it's just 30 to 45 minutes, I might spontaneously combust like a vampire in daylight. And nobody wants that, right? And here is what's important. Neurodiverse traits are going to look different depending on the person. Research shows that ADHD and autistic traits present differently in men and women. Studies in autism research and Journal of Attention Disorders confirms it. So even if you and your partner share the same diagnosis or similar traits, it doesn't mean that you're going to show up the same way. That's not incompatibility. That is simply the kaleidoscope of neurodiverse love. So sometimes it means taking a night off. Or sometimes it means I'm over here cooking dinner and he is out in the world going to the gym. Sometimes it even means when he's spending a weekend with me, he goes into the bedroom to meditate for 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes even an hour, and he goes to take a nap. And I'll be cooking and cleaning and doing the dishes and, reading a book and different things for myself. And then when he emerges from the room, it's like, hey, baby, let's do stuff together. But that is survival. It's saying I want to be my best self when I am around you. And that means that I need some time to myself sometimes. And that is totally okay and totally healthy. Now, this next point might shake you up a little bit, but let me drop this truth bomb on you. Your relationship is not validated by social media. Your love life does not live or die on Instagram posts or Facebook or even your Snapchat streak. My boyfriend and I send each other selfies on Snapchat almost every day. We check in and we call over Wi-Fi because living in semi-rural areas means that cell service is sometimes garbage. But do I post him all over my business Instagram? No, because that is my brand space. And our love isn't up for algorithm approval. And I have posted him a little bit to be like, hey, I love this human. I don't know what I would do without him in my life, but it's still my brand that I am showcasing on Instagram. So I'm not always going to post stuff about us. And to be fair, I don't want to create another personal Instagram page because I don't want to have too many social media pages to run. And that's essentially why I also got rid of Facebook. So it would just kind of be a little bit redundant and it would miss the entire point if I were to create a separate social media page on Instagram for personal stuff. But relationships shouldn't be up for algorithm approval. And a study at Pew Research actually found that while social media helps couples feel connected at times, over 30% of people studied said that it creates jealousy or unnecessary pressure. 30% from that study. That is a lot of people who are stressed out over apps. And honestly, what matters more? That you hit a 365-day snap streak, or that you and your partner are building financial stability, working on your mental health, and supporting each other through real life growth? At the end of the day, that Snapchat streak isn't going to cuddle you while you're crying. Those Instagram likes and memes that you send each other are not going to always regulate your nervous system. So stop letting social media be your relationship referee or your nervous system regulation referee, okay? So, before we close out, here are the ingredients that I would say makes for a healthy relationship. Autonomy is your oxygen. Shared joy is your bonding point. Separate joy is your growth fertilizer. Respect for neurodiverse needs is your nervous system relationship bomb. And social media boundaries are your warding spell. At the end of the day, love isn't about becoming one person. It is about being a unit while recognizing that you are two whole people who choose to walk alongside each other hand in hand as equals without erasing the self. So when you get into your next relationship or you grow into the one that you're already in, remember not to dim your flame to make someone else comfortable, and don't demand that they snuff out their spark in order to fit your mold. Real love is about seeing each other fully and choosing to stay. All right, that is today's Heart Talk. And if this episode hit home, or if you want to talk about it a little bit further, come hang out with me online. All of my links are in the show notes, and I would love for you to connect with me so that we can keep building these conversations about love, autonomy, spirituality, and so much more, and learning how to be whole humans in partnerships and in our lives without dissolving into some cursed horror movie shapeshifter. Until next time, remember to enjoy this fall energy with your cozy pajamas, your cozy blankets, your cozy fall drinks, your appropriate snacks. And remember, you are whole and worthy exactly as you are. This has been another enlightening episode of Elaborations with SchellingtonGrin, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye!